Last chapter, we discussed a little bit about debugging. Debugging is trying to find why your code doesn't behave the way you want it to. Maybe it's generating some errors, or maybe it's not generating errors, but the output isn't what you want it to be. Either way, there's a bug in the code. A bug is a mistake or a problem that's causing the code to fail at its goal. Debugging is the process of finding and removing those bugs. Debugging is one of the most fundamental parts of programming, and in fact, the programming flow we've described before could easily just be called the debugging flow. It's the flow you go through when you've written some code to check if it behaves as desired, or fix it if it doesn't. Just as we noted in the previous chapter, this content might seem a bit confusing right now. Until you really get into writing code and debugging it, the debugging process might seem very abstract. At the same time though, as soon as you start programming, you'll likely start to encounter these issues, and we don't want you to be scared when you see errors. So the goal of this chapter is to give you some initial background in debugging so that when you start to encounter those bugs in your code, you know how to get started in resolving them. Don't feel like you need to pass a test on this chapter alone before moving on though. The real goal here is for you to refer back to this as needed.